Okay, we're gonna get started. Thank you all for coming here. It's gonna be a short meeting, but I just wanted to make sure that we could just touch base and hit the ground, maybe hit the ground running for 2026. Thank you everyone for your flexibility and your patience with the report and with voting. Brienne, we do have the report's been sent out. Is that correct?
The report will be distributed today.
Okay, today. All right. So I guess we're in good shape for the report. Thank you everyone for your contributions. And I do not see Alexander on here. Just a note that Jim Carson has retired, so his replacement, if he's not coming today, he'll be at the next meeting. And my co-chair has a meeting, so is not able to attend today. And as far as the minutes, we don't have any minutes to approve. Is that correct? We don't have
Not
the
for
December.
today, no.
Okay, no December minutes. Okay, and I do see Diane, I do see that you're here. I don't know, it looks like you're traveling. Um,
Yeah, I am driving, so I would ask that be patient with me to respond back to a question because
oh,
it's going to take me a moment just to come over.
Okay, well, I'm so glad you're here. Yeah, I did not think that either you or Gary were able to come, so I did not really plan that we would go over the reports. But if you have anything, Diane, that you want to share, please do so, and then we can open the floor for questions.
Yeah. The only thing I was going to say, like, I know in December we had some, the numbers were as high as we like to be, like in the 90s. That was a lot about scheduling and that. And of course, this month, have patience because with the weather that we're all dealt with in half the country, chances are no January's numbers are not going to be as great as we hope because of cancellations, reschedules, weather, and stuff like that. So, but most of the stuff that we had was a very busy December. For the end of the year, typically we have a lot of clients asking for new equipment to get done before the high deductibles, et cetera, comes in. So sometimes we're very strained and with the holidays, rescheduled stuff. So when you look at that December report, please keep that in mind. But we were not terrible with our numbers. We still had some things. And I know we had one concern that was sent to us that we sent over from OHA, and I'm sure she'll cover that today. But that's all I have for updates. So I'll answer any questions that people do have on their reports that did go out as best as I can and as safely as I can.
Right. Need you to be safe. Okay, does anyone have any questions for Diane?
Um, oh, I guess that if you want, I could jump in with the report. I know it's not, I can say that Diane was very, very helpful. And I sent over the referral to her and she helped out right away. So thank you, Diane. It got fixed and remedied. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you. I don't see any questions. Does anyone have any questions that you would like me to pass on to Gary regarding his report? No? All right, well, that's good. If anything comes up or if you haven't had time to look at the report and if any questions come up, just feel free. I think it's best if you email me, John and Brianne, and then we'll pass that along to either Diane or Gary. And Sheldon, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to look at the reports and um, I could be wrong, but I did not see a narrative repair report summary from New Motion.
No, we didn't receive one. Gary did submit the summary that is in the annual report, but he did not submit anything further for December because he said that his summary really uh covered everything, I believe, for end of the year. So he did not submit anything else.
But does the summary include the staffing levels?
Uh, it'll take me a second to look. I have the report in front of me. If not, if not, we can ask him.
Okay, because Diane's report includes the total numbers of repairs in the branch, and then the staffing levels in the branches, which of course we greatly appreciate. But I didn't think Gary had provided that in his end of the year thing. Maybe I'm wrong.
He says, yeah, he does break it down in his summary. So 8 in shop, a total of 20. So 8 in shop, 5 seating techs, 4 production techs, 2 warehouse techs, and 1 delivery.
Okay, and
So
this
that's
is
5 on the road, 8 in the shop, and then like the seating tech and warehouse techs.
and that's in the report.
That's in the report.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Yeah,
That's what I was trying to
no
ask.
problem.
Thank you.
And I'm
Here-
looking at
hold on. They have 5 on. They only have
Wait.
5 on the road. Is that what you just
yeah,
said?
it's according to the report.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's hold on. It's page 71 of the report. If anyone wants to go back and look at it, it's page 71 and it's in the middle of the page, but he has it broken down. I can ask him to verify that. Yeah, that's weird. It's eight in shop and 5 on the road. And then the delivery tech, which is on the road, but that's not the same thing. So yeah, so I'll ask him about that. Yes, David.
Is that a decrease? Did they go down in techs on the road?
It seems to be.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, don't forget, just to speak for Gary, I know this, you can re-verify though. I know his seating techs are also on the road at times. So don't forget to
Okay,
count
yep.
though.
Yeah, that's true. And hold on. I'm sorry, I'm going back and forth between the report and the screen. So seating techs are 5. So yeah, so it would be a total of 13 if and I know that Sheldon, you want that's not the number that you want. I'll just ask him to clarify. So there are a total of 13 techs who are able to go on the road, and at least 5 of them are dedicated to, it looks like dedicated. Before I get to you, Sheldon, Alexander, you are oh, we don't do roll call, but yeah, Alexander has joined the call. Welcome. As I said in the beginning, Jim Carson has retired. So Alexander, you're taking his place in the interim or for permanently?
In an indefinite period of time.
Indefinite period of time. Okay, well, welcome.
Thank you, and I appreciate the welcome message.
So this is a very short meeting, but we're going over the data that we received, which I sent over to you in email. And then we're going to go over Becky Jacobson from OAHA. She will go over her data, and then we're just going to talk about our plans for the year. So welcome.
Understood.
And
Sounds good. Thank you.
We're pretty informal. We informally follow Robert's rules, but we're small groups, so we're pretty informal. Okay, Sheldon, go ahead.
Yeah, so I just want to point out that in New Motion's report that they did include the monthly report for this meeting, they state that only 3% of the repairs are done at a branch. 80% are in the home, 70% remotely, 3% at branch. So here's what's weird about that. If, what did you say the numbers were that Gary reported at the end of the year report? It's like 5 and 8.
Yep, five on the road techs,
5 on the road techs and 8 in the shop.
8 in the
So
shop.
more are in the shop, and yet according to this data, 4 times as many repairs are done in the home than, well, only 3% are done at the branch. It just doesn't add up. I don't
Yeah.
understand how that makes any sense unless Diane can explain it if she knows.
I think though, Sheldon, if you remember last time you said they always have to dedicate how they have them allocated. But like you said, when you got those seating techs, those technicians are both. They're road and specialty seating, and a lot of those come out. Delivery guys for him, if I remember correctly, are just literally delivering of new equipment. But then his technician, yeah, you may have dedicated in the shop, but they also a lot of times they'll reallocate them on the road if there's enough shop for them to do either new equipment setups. So I think you just need to find out what you need to do for you, Sheldon, in the group, maybe and ask, or if I follow back up with him, I mean, I don't talk to him very often, but you know, they may want to say how many of those in shop are actually on the road for orders that month. That might help you delegate that for clarification, because I think that's how he was doing it before. And he made that comment, I remember in previous meetings, we pull up the minute.
Okay, well, I apologize on that if I missed that. But I mean, even I assume remotely is where the person who's dealing with remotely is in the shop. That would make sense, right? Because they have to be somewhere. So assuming that, then 20% of the repairs are either in the shop or remotely somebody in the shop, and 4/5 or 80%, and this is what it says in the report, are done in the home. And not only that, but in the home repairs take longer because of the travel time. So it just seems really odd that that percentage. I understand what you just said, but you know, even factoring that in, the seating specialist, it seems to be a mismatch. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and he's probably putting it down that way, Sheldon, for you because of how they have them titled in the company. So he's probably titling it as such. But like I said, you may want to have a follow-up email sent over to him just to say, you know, Maureen and Brianna saying, hey, help explain this. How of this group, how many of them were actually on the road doing repairs? Because there's dedicated, probably is how he's got it categorized. That's the only thing I could say, Sheldon, without him being on the phone.
Right. Well, that's the problem.
Yeah.
But thank
Yeah.
you. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Don't want to spend too much time speculating. David.
I was just gonna say, maybe we could just get the job descriptions that these employees sign up on when they agree to work and what their responsibilities are, so that we can have that. And I'm curious if National Seating Mobility does this. Like, you have production staff and seating staff. Like, do those people in your company, do they go out on the road, the production and seating people?
Yeah, we have our technicians and that. So like in shop, you have some seniority levels. They do both, you know, because that we make sure everyone's kind of cross-trained when we bring in because of these challenges, right? So, and we even have ATPs sometimes that will turn a wrench if they need to. Not that often, but they do. Just because if someone's in a seating clinic, it's either, you know, or coming into a clinic to see something, sometimes it's easier just to address it then, depending on the situation. But, you know, at the end of the day, most companies are going to, you know, morph where they need to. If they see there's a deficit on something, we're going to pull from whatever to get those things done. So, you know, regardless of titles, and I get the question why you're saying it for job descriptions. Most of our job descriptions are posted. If you see someone posting for a job, we'll list it out there. But we also have, and I think both companies or most companies have it, you know, there's the ability to adjust to need as part of the job descriptions too, as people get more tenured experience, etc. So there's certain things that we do with technicians when they first come aboard with their training. et cetera. And then depending on what their skill set is, their affinity, and how they're able to move up, they might be able to do, you know, remote diagnostic, and they'd be able to go on a road and do both, because we do have that. We want more of our senior technicians actually doing remote diagnostics, because they're more experienced. They can look at the various different chairs, depending on the condition of the client and the situation. It's not typically someone who does that. It's newer in the role. They're usually more tenured people. So sometimes we'll pull those two, depending where what's going on in the field and in the workflows. So there is adjustment. It has to be. It's just the nature of the business. Just like with this nature of this business, it's very ebb and flowy for new equipment. You'll see peaks in fourth quarter. You'll see slowdowns in the summer. You'll see it slow in a little bit in the first quarter, like this part of the year, because everyone's kind of getting new equipment depending on what their insurance coverage is. So it really ebbs and flows with how we allocate and scheduling. Because if we get a bunch that comes in, sometimes we'll look and say, oh, listen, we're going to have a lot of in 2 or 3 months from now, people calling because they have this new equipment. We're going to have to look at staffing, et cetera. So it's a very fluid situation depending on what's going on with the business, to be honest with you, day to day.
Thank you for the explanation.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and we have talked about this. We've been talking about this on and off for a year, and I think at some point, Sheldon, you said that you really just were concerned with FTEs, and I guess I don't know. I guess maybe there's a question we still have to clarify. It's just I know we've been kind of spinning our wheels here with the question of how many employees, and I do understand that it is kind of a fluid thing for both companies.
I
But
thought it was resolved though, in the sense
I thought
that
it was resolved.
we understand that Diane's shop does it differently than Gary's shop. It's not really FTs, those are real people, 100%. And Gary's is like they're kind of part, but that's why he did FTE, which gets at that. So I thought we actually had resolved that.
Yeah, I did too. But I'll check back with them, and then I'll hopefully have an answer for everyone before our next meeting. But I will let you know. Okay, so moving along, Becky, did you have anything else to report?
Well, I guess for this month, well, actually last month for December, we had two filings for OHA. We had one from NSM and one from New Motions. And like I said, Diane was very, very helpful. And the one from New Motions we're still working on. Gary's working on that one with me as well. So we were able to close the one from NSM. So it was a good success story. And I have to really say that I'm very thankful for this group, for the reports that we've been filing, for all of the advocates that have been really helpful and responded, that have been working with me, and also with the providers. They've been really helpful as well. And thank you all for allowing me to send in my report a little later too. I appreciate that.
Hey, thank you. Any questions for Becky?
I guess the other thing too is I'm looking forward to helping and writing up the what was it, the oh gosh, not the now I'm forgetting what it's
Bill of
called.
Rights?
Bill of Rights, yes.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. So I was hoping we could discuss that today if possible.
Yes, I think we'll take if we have no questions for Becky, I think we can segue right into that. We did have a few non-legislative recommendations, and that was one of them. Before we get to that, Ginny and I guess with a little help from Becky, Ginny's worked on another installment of on the Husky newsletter. So if you want to just update us on that, Ginny.
Okay, yes, sure. We asked Community Health Network of Connecticut to help assist us to put out a posting. And we were able to get it placed on what they call the web slider, and it'll be up if we wanted to. They said they can leave it up for a few months or even longer.
Oh,
So
that's great.
I could ask you guys and see what you guys would like us to do, if you want us to just leave that up for a little longer or just take it down in a few months. And then hopefully in I believe in June, July, another Husky newsletter could go out and we could also resend the information out that way.
Great. Great. So we have the text and are you have you submitted that already?
Submitted
The text?
oh yes,
The
yes, we
actual,
submitted,
yeah.
it's actually up. It's actually
Oh,
up.
yeah, okay.
If you go to, let me see if I could find you a link and I'll put it in
Okay,
the chat for
great.
everybody to see.
Great.
They did a really great job. They really did a nice job.
Good. Good. It looked good so far. So yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much for taking um doing that. Yeah,
Oh, my pleasure.
for taking that initiative.
Mhm.
Jenny, it looked really good. I appreciate you doing all that work too. And I give you more credit than definitely me. You did a great
Yeah.
Yeah, our pleasure.
Can I ask a question? I apologize. I can't raise while I'm
No,
driving.
don't worry about it. You're
Yeah, so Janie, I have a question for you though from a Medicaid policy update. I am being informed from the field teams there's been a change in authorization window. Most of our products are 6 months off, is valuable, it's live for 6 months. I'm being informed now that there's only authorizations for a 3-month period now on some complex ADL products, like specialized bath equipment, standers, gate trainers. When did that policy change for authorizations only good for 3 months now?
oh, Ginny, you're muted.
Yeah, I recall receiving an email and I believe right in the that policy is where that language was in. So I
Okay.
have to take a look and see when it came up. So let me research that and get back to you.
Yeah, if you could, and if you can just email it directly to me, or I can follow up with an email back to you. I was just a little surprised because sometimes those specialized equipment doesn't get done, and we try to like, all right, now we're authors expire. We have to go back through that whole process again. I just
Oh,
want to make sure so I can update our systems accordingly. But I was surprised because I didn't see that in the update from the Husky notifications to the provider. So we missed it somehow. And I just want to make sure we're not missing anything else.
okay. Yeah, I'll research that. and
Thank
get
you so
back
much.
to you,
Appreciate
Ann.
that.
No, you're welcome.
Okay, well, in the little time that we have left, do we want to get started on the talking about the customer bill of rights or wheelchair users bill of rights for Connecticut? I know Becky, you're a big proponent for this. Just did you have any preliminary thoughts or ideas for this? And Becky, you're muted too.
Sorry about that. I know when
Sorry.
we were going over the recommendations, and we were discussing it in OHA, we thought that it would be really great to have a Bill of Rights, right? So I think a lot of the recommendations, both legislatively and non-legislatively, both pros and cons, right, of each that everyone had brought up, sounded like it would be really good. What y'all thought would be useful that maybe the legislator couldn't pass or something like that, that we all thought would be helpful that this council could bring forward, that maybe we could bring a voice to. I think that's very strong and that we have advocacy to do as a unit and as a base to bring forward. And it gives people value and a voice and strength. And so I don't have anything per se to start out. I think it's better for y'all to bring that forward and I can help support in any way that I can. So I think that's where it all stemmed from in our office and I'd put it all to you to start it out.
Great. I know David has been a big advocate, even with our wheelchair group, and an advocate for this for since we got started. So that's good. And we our wheelchair group and also the group that I represent the Council Citizens Coalition for Equal Access, they have also had a lot of discussions about general Bill of Rights for medical accessibility and just medical in general and wheelchairs. So we have in our own circles started that conversation. And it seems to me that just because of our meetings, we do tend to take up all the time. So it seems like we probably would need to have some offline discussions about this and then come to the group with something a little more substantial for the group to discuss. So and hopefully we can do that in the start of the year to get that going, so that we have something for next year to include with our annual report. So I'm excited. Does anyone have any other comments or questions about the any of the non-legislative recommendations that we have? And I do see that Ginny has included the link for the newsletter. Thank you, Ginny.
Yes, it's a little web slider. It's a little, if you go to the Husky website and just, it's like these messages come through. So you'll see different messages on there. But
okay.
they did a really good job with the one about the wheelchair repairs.
Oh, great. Yeah, I see that. I'll have to look at that after, but that looks good.
Jenny, could you
Thank you
do,
so much for
I'm
doing that.
sorry, could you maybe do a favor and send to the group, the, the group on the council as an email, just so we can find it, because especially, I just went to it, and if it's a slider, it's gonna be only like a moment.
Yes,
You
yes.
just
yes,
send the
yes.
language to us, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, I see, I see. You
Yeah.
want the language that we asked. Yes, we had to change the language a little bit just so that it's more understandable for the Husky members. But yes, I will send that out.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you, Jenny.
Um,
All right, so we are coming up on David, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I mean, we're about at 1:30 right now, and I think it would be a good use of time to figure out what we're doing for the next meeting. How are we gonna figure out the next meeting?
Okay, thank you. Our next meeting is we're trying to do the third get back to the third week of the month. Just pulling out my calendar. Can't find my calendar. So that would be February 18th at 11. Does that work for you, Brianne?
Yes, that should work.
Okay, great. That is good to be able to lock that down. Okay, well, that's all I had. Do we have any last questions or comments? Okay, well, Diane, thank you so much for making it to our meeting, even though you're traveling. Sheldon, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I just want to say that next time I hope we can go through the non-legislative recommendations
Yes.
in the council and see if we can come up with a game plan because they don't require legislation, to see, if there's agreement on them, consensus on where we should go, whatever. Maybe just go through the list and try to come up with a
Right.
game plan on each of them. Maybe some we can't, but try to.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. A half hour went by a lot quicker than I expected. David.
I just wanted to say thank you for all the work that was put in and producing the report.
Thank you.
Amen. Thank you.
Well, hopefully all our hard work will pay off. Yeah. Okay, so I will take a motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned.
Second. Thanks, Jenny. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? All right, motion, we are adjourning 1:31. Thank you so much, and we will see you on the 18th. And I'll get